Hi everyone, what's up? My name is Alex and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be doing another movie review, and when I say we, I am joined by an awesome friend of mine, Joel Pitt. Thanks for joining me today, Joel.
No problem, Alex.
Today we are going to be reviewing Black Panther. Now Joel has done his own review of this movie on his channel, which I'll leave the link in the description down below so you can go and check it out for yourself. Remember, this review will contain spoilers, so please, if you don't want to watch this review, then please click off right away. And so, without further ado, let's get straight into this review. Now, my first thoughts on Black Panther was that this movie was an absolutely remarkable film. I love this movie, not just as a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I love it as a film, a normal movie that I can watch multiple times and never get bored of it. There is so much to praise about this movie, and I was very happy about the fact that this film did not just make another superhero movie. Marvel didn't just take the Black Panther material and would say, oh, we're gonna make another movie where there's some action, we blow some stuff up. This film has a subtle but relevant message to learn, that this movie isn't just about characters fighting, it's a film that has relevant social commentary. In this movie, I was so relieved to find out that this film's commentary relies on the characters looking inside themselves. The characters in this film are really thinking about their viewpoints and what is wrong with their lives and this nation before T'Challa took the crown, because almost of T'Challa's development relies on him realizing the sons of the previous regeneration and how he can make them better. It's not just about walking into this perfect nation where his kingship is unchallenged and everything was thriving and amazing. It's actually how damaging his previous generation was, and all of the problems that came from that. This was something I did not expect at all. Joel, what were your first thoughts of this movie?
My first thoughts, like, at the start there was this night sky and it was just like an amazing scenery, and then this meteor came down, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I think vibranium they call it, and this is like a powerful substance that makes any man strong, fast, and you know, it was very interesting at the start, and there was like a backline to it, and that will come later on in this review.
Yeah, it will do.
There was, you know, young kids, and then, you know, you mentioned something about them growing up, didn't you? And all.
Of course. So yeah, now before I watched this movie, I never heard of Black Panther before in the Marvel Universe. It was quite interesting how the history of this superhero came to be. But what you're also getting to see in this characters in a movie about him is what is the world of Wakanda. You have all of these different characters in the movie, but one of the greatest characters of all is Wakanda itself. You get to learn so much about the people in it and the culture around it and the technology that it has. It really shows that we get some good world building. This movie tells the story of T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman, who is about to be crowned king of Wakanda, a secret city in the middle of Africa that's completely shielded, that's thriving with technology and becoming a sustainable city. And yet no one knows that this city exists, and what seemed at first was the responsibility of T'Challa and how to manage between being a superhero and a king. He eventually learns there's a lot of hardships with being a king of this nation, and a lot of the problems arise when this kingship is challenged by Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. I must say that the scenery and the look of this movie is absolutely beautiful. Wouldn't you agree, Joel?
Yeah, like this amazing buildings, and there was that sunset in
the waterfalls.
The waterfalls, it was just absolutely amazing.
It would be so awesome if you could just freeze frame the movie and you could just produce some stunning wallpaper just to hang on your wall. That would be incredible.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I liked how they had some of the actual location shots for this movie and how they did the CGI shots. They looked stunning but realistic at the same time. The amount of depth and detail that went into these scenes was so awesome, especially the action scenes. Now, Joel, as you and I were watching this movie, what has to be your best action piece in your opinion?
My best action piece would have to be the car chase, and like there was, you know, just explosions, and then there was this funny part where Ulysses Claw, played by Andy Serkis, he blew up one of the cars using this vibranium gun, and the woman, the speared to the ground, righted like a surfboard, and then the other one was just still in the driver's seat. that was funny.
One of my favourite action pieces was the final battle between the renegades of Wakanda, the people who turned against Wakanda, and the peace-loving people. This battle just showcased a lot of the power and depth and how strong these people really are. With their weapons and spears, it felt more like a combat battle. The action in this movie is just sublime. I actually really enjoyed some of the smaller action scenes, because what you get out of these characters is more of the intensity of those characters. This movie actually hits a lot of different genres. You get some action, you get some drama, you get some world building, you even get a little bit of political talk, and even there's a little bit of James Bond in this, such as despite espionage with the casino place, it kind of feels like it's almost like a James Bond with just that casino place. And of course there's humour in this movie. Now, I thought that the humour was going to ruin this movie, but the reason why I think the humour is good in this movie is because the humour isn't just one-liners. The humour actually comes from the characters themselves. Every character is so well defined of who they are that when you put them into situations where the character will react to that situation, that's what makes it funny. And also it knew when it's the time to stop, it's when it's time to be serious, or when it's time to be dramatic. This movie has no problem in turning down humour and concentrating on the serious matter. The more I think and talk about this movie, the more I love it as a good, high quality film. That's why Ryan Coogler, the director and writer of this movie, is just so amazing. And the way he wrote and directed this, he did such a good job in trying to keep it true to the original, but take a modern spin on it. Everything about this movie just felt right. Don't you agree, Joel?
Yes.
The style, the music, the costumes, and the design.
Music was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Everything just felt like this was the perfect music just to have in any movie. It was just so perfect. And I had my thoughts that, okay, this is the Black Panther movie and it's going to hit point A, point B, point C. And that's like how every other superhero movie was going to hopefully plan out. But of course it does that because it is the introduction of Black Panther in a cinematic movie, just like with every other introduction movie of any superhero. However, sometimes it goes to a point where this movie can take risks, and I like how daring and bold they are, and I like how the movie can play it safe but take risks when necessary, and when it works, it's good. Now, let's move on to the characters, which there were some amazing characters in this movie, such as Chadwick Boseman, who played T'Challa as Black Panther. I thought he was really, really good in this. He had a stoic feel about him, and he had a little bit of emotion, as you can see the struggle he has of being a king and a superhero. T'Challa, Black Panther, I absolutely adore him. He has that aura about him, which makes him such a just but a merciful character. What did you think of Black Panther's performance?
Absolutely amazing, like just the lines he pulled out, like some of the one-liners, they were just funny.
And remember the time at the beginning of the movie where most of his other friends were telling him, like, don't freeze, don't freeze.
Yeah,
and, like, there was moments where you freeze.
You froze, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Also, there's many different characters within this movie, and I really appreciated the fact that this movie gave every character their own moment, so it never feels like you don't know about a certain character, and I thought that was great. Lupita Nyong'o, who played as Nakia, I thought she did a really good job. She had a alluring relationship with T'Challa, Black Panther, as she was a spy, and she had that ability of knowing what might happen, and her beliefs thrive when people turn against her, but also she does what's important to save Wakanda. Angela Bassett, who plays as the Queen, I thought she was just great, giving Black Panther advice on how to live his kingship like his father's. She might not be exactly right, but she definitely gives some insights. Dania Guyura, who plays Akio, she was just extremely amazing. She was an extremely proud Wakandian and a traditionalist from the Boer tribe, who was the head of the female, specialist force. and I thought she was absolutely amazing. She was so damn good. I love her intensity and her power. She was so badass in this movie, and I thought I was never going to get into a fight with her. She had that stoic feel about her character, which draws out a lot of the humor in her, which I thought was pretty good. She's one of those characters who helps and serves her loyal country and her people. Now, Martin Freeman, who played Ever Ken Ross, a member of the CIA, a former liaison of the Joint Counter-Terrorism Task Force. Now, besides him and another character, which we're going to get onto, they are the only white characters in this movie, and it definitely feels like there's a racial segregation between the coloured and the whites. Unfortunately, Ross didn't have much to say, because one of the things that this kingdom of Wakanda forbids is for white people to interrupt and get involved with unnecessary conflicts. I would imagine that there would be an uneasy peace with T'Challa, and that is one of the reasons why he went to Wakanda, so therefore T'Challa can heal him after saving one of his comrades. Ross did a really good job as well. When I saw his face and I was thinking, Ross, could you return in Infinity War? Because when he can join forces with Doctor Strange, it's going to be a Sherlock reunion. I definitely want that, don't you?
Yeah.
Honestly, that'll be absolutely amazing. Also, Forrest Whitaker, who played Zurich and the elderly statesman in Wakanda and the keeper of the heart-shaped herb. Ryan Coogler called Zurich a religious and spiritual figure, and I thought he was really good. And let's mention Andy Serkis, because he is just absolutely amazing. Who played Claw, a South African black market arms dealer, smuggler and gangster who is allied with Killmonger. He uses a piece of the advanced Wakandian mining equipment, such as the Sonic Disruptor arm, kind of mechanical arm that he uses in the film. And Chadwick Boseman described Claude as a threat to Wakanda, one of the few outsiders to enter the country, and someone with access to vibranium, which is known as the strongest metals in the universe. I love Claude. I love how crazy and hysterical he is. Honestly, I just love how he's just that opposing villain, but you don't honestly see him as the real villain in this movie, and which we'll get onto a bit later on. Now, I want to talk about Daniel Kakul. I even have trouble pronouncing this name. His name is Daniel Kaluuya. Again,
I would say that's pretty good.
Pretty accurate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He plays W'Kabi as one of Black Panther's loyal, comrades, and he gives such a great performance. And I like to the point where, in halfway through the movie, he turns against him. And I just think that, for characters to be on the good side, but still turn away and become more of a intimidating force, going to the dark side, like with Darth Vader. I like that kind of change in his character. Not to mention Winston Duke, who played M'Baku, a powerful, ruthless warrior who is the leader of the Wakandian mountain tribe, who is in protest of T'Challa being the new king. The Jabra, who are the people within this tribe, who strongly believe that to move forward you have to have a strong inherence and respect for the past, so they have a deep morale and conscience. I thought he brought a lot of humour and grit to this movie, which just shows how good he is as a combat fighter. And by far my favourite aspect of this movie is how these characters eventually get to the point where they are looking at themselves and trying to figure out how they can make their lives and their friendship and the world better as a result. And a lot of that has to do with this film's villain. It's one of the reasons why Michael B. Jordan's character Killmonger is so damn good, because of his appearance in this universe is what starts this needed change for this nation. And although he's a villain killing people, and you look at him thinking, I don't agree with you, you're evil, you're sinister, you're wrong, but he does make some valuable points, and it's like you kind of agree with him. I think it's important to listen what he has to say. This is a character who wasn't raised in Wakanda. This is a character who was raised in the United States. And you can almost side with his beliefs. And it's like, hey, you have all this technology. Why aren't you sharing it with the world? These characters have to stand back and think about it. That's why Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger is one of the best villains in the Marvel Universe. He gives such a charismatic performance, and one of the best reasons why he's so good is his appearance in this movie is what causes the heroes to look inside themselves and realize their weaknesses. And the fight between Killmonger and Black Panther was just so incredible. You could look up both characters and you can speculate that these characters are the same, but no, these characters may look the same, but they have been brought up in different backgrounds with different conflicts and different lifestyles. I absolutely love Killmonger. Wouldn't you agree, Joe?
Oh yes.
He was definitely such an intimidating threat. He's not one of your typical bad guy characters in a Marvel universe where he blows up some stuff and say, "Oh, I'm gonna conquer the world." No, he's not like that at all. He's very malicious and very sinister. He makes valuable points as he's been raised up in the United States and has a lot more world ethnicity around him with a lot of the United States history and culture, and he has a lot of valuable points, and like you kind of agree with him, and that's why he's such a convincing and really threatening villain in this movie. How good were the costumes? Oh my god, they were absolutely incredible. The claws, the spike chains, and the mask designs as well. I thought they were awesome. Here's one question, Joe. Who would win in a fight, Black Panther or Iron Man?
Oh, I would say Black Panther.
Me too, because Black Panther, he gains this energy absorption ability which can make himself powerful by absorbing all this kinetic energy from his opponents. This is why the technology is so advanced. It makes the city look great, and at the very end of the movie, T'Challa makes a request to the world leaders and offers peace and harmony with the rest of the world, because this was something that Killmonger brought up, and it was Black Panther's responsibility to take this opportunity and look forward to a better future. Any final words to say about this movie, Joe?
Absolutely amazing.
Could you possibly say that it's one of the best movies of the year?
I don't know.
It's already February and I'm already saying this.
Yeah, you are already saying this. Yes. Yeah, that took me some time to think, because there has been more.
You can speculate that in the build-up to many other films, you could possibly say like, "Oh, this is going to be amazing." But then when you actually watch it, you think, there were some bits that I didn't like and some bits that were good, and I thought maybe they could just improve on this slightly. But I felt that this movie just felt perfect, and I liked how this movie kind of, conquered that kind of racial kind of segregation background which many people had with this movie. I think many people were contradicting that this is a movie with an all-black cast with only two white people, and I thought this was not going to work. However, it worked so well. I thought it was just such an amazing film, and my rating of this movie has to be a full 10 out of 10. It's possibly one of the best movies of the year, and it's only February. I'm only saying that. What's your rating? Now, I know that you like to rate stuff 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
What would you say?
It's got to be 5 out of 5.
Yes, I knew it. I absolutely knew it. Please let us know your opinions about Black Panther in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this movie review, then please like this video and remember to subscribe to both of our channels for more amazing videos. Thank you, Joe, for joining me today. It's been awesome having you here on this channel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time for another amazing video. Until then, guys, see you later.